Hello and welcome to Roleplay Rejects, where we play new and unusual tabletop role-playing games. In Side Quest, we're taking a break from our longer stories to play just a few sessions of some very unique role-playing games out there. So sit back and enjoy.
Hello?
Welcome to Whine About It.
Last time on Dark Souls, we saved the fucking world. This time,
Yeah,
we're gonna...
after fucking it up.
Or did we just F it up in another way?
No, I think we saved the world after fucking it up.
I think it depends on who you ask in Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, didn't we awaken the Cinder Lords? The Lords of Cinder?
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
had
but
to.
what do you know about Dark Souls?
Nothing.
We
Literally
had
nothing.
because Lothric, the younger prince, scorned the flames and did not give his soul to the first flame to keep it propagating longer.
I should replay every Dark Souls game and their DLCs.
You do that.
I will. I'll try to finish rewatching Adventure Time.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like as far as like the lore of Dark Souls, like there's a lot of nuance with it, but from my understanding, TLDR, hey listener, if you don't want to listen to this, skip ahead about 60 seconds. Did you skip ahead? Fantastic. Okay, so generally speaking, the first flame is what keeps the old gods in power. And the idea is that when the power starts to fade, they kind of like push a strong soul to go onto the fire to propagate it ever longer. Lothric, that line, I guess, is supposed to be those types of people who would go give their body over to the flame, keep the old gods in power for eternity. And then he was like, nah. So then the flame awoke, like awokened awoke the Lords of Cinder, who are other like very strong entities, and they all have their own plans and stuff going on. They were all kind of like, nah. So desperate, the old gods then resurrected lowly peons such as you, the unkindled,
Yeah.
ashen one, whatever.
Unkindled, I think, in Dark Souls 2, right? Dark
Not
Souls
sure.
3.
Actually, I think
one.
it's the unnooked.
What?
Sorry. Instead of the Kindle, we're the Nooks.
But basically,
Ashen one,
thus starting like this whole journey about you go and propagate the first flame, but there's some nuance about it, about whether like prolonging the, because like once you get to the very end, you have a choice of like prolonging the flame or like forsaking it and snuffing it out completely.
Isn't that the one where you can marry people?
I don't know, maybe.
Marry what's her face?
Is that a dating sim?
Give her like
That's a wild
the true
name.
sight kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is like that the dark soul is supposed to be like, or age of darkness, which is what you're trying to prevent, is like the age of humanity.
Yeah.
What?
That's like always the case too. It was like the same. Well, not always the case, but like kind of. Like usually letting the light or the flame die like progresses humanity forward, because relighting it is usually like a cycle, right? So you just keep the cycle going, or you push forward into the age of darkness / age of man.
Yeah.
And then you fight the nameless king, and he fucking rocks your shit.
He's in here.
Yeah, I figured. When he said nameless crypt, I was like, I didn't know if that was him, but that's what I thought of.
That's how I thought of.
Oh no, the nameless crypt is the one that the player you open up.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Nameless king would kill us indefinitely. Speaking of dying indefinitely, our thoughts.
Yeah, well, did we want to like? I know it's kind of a short story, but did we want to talk about that first and then go into our thoughts?
Yeah, I think that makes more sense. Our thoughts on the story.
Yeah. So I was kind of like sitting there for a little bit thinking about what to do, and I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if it was like a prelude? Because in preparation for this, I started playing Dark Souls 3. Wow, crazy. But the very opening scene mentioned a bell ringing to kind of like rouse the Lords of Cinder from their sleep. And I was like, huh. That's cool. That's the premise.
I'm going to do that.
Eventually, I just decided to start looking at time as kind of a factor. So the undead settlement is kind of like supposed to represent the past. And then the forest being the shadow of passage, time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the avum, I don't know, it's some Latin word for time. So I thought that was cool. The time turner thing, honestly, was kind of a spur of the moment decision.
It was pretty cool, though. Not gonna lie. I love headaches.
Yeah. I love time travel.
But yeah, I had a whole list of like loot for you all to potentially grab, and then I just kind of randomly picked whatever my heart desired whenever you came across something.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, the final boss for this, Lord Brylex, was a carbon copy Iudix Gunder, who was the first boss that you ever fight in Dark Souls 3. He's CR9, and that is the lowest boss in this book. Like the lowest CR boss.
Oh, the lowest cross.
Yeah.
Fixed it.
Any questions, I guess?
No.
I mean, I enjoyed the story. I thought you did a great job.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Also, I really
making
liked
it-
your sound effects and monologuing.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I would say you were with par with the Dark Souls boss monologues. They felt cool. I didn't like being called mundane, though.
You're really good at describing things.
Thanks.
Yeah,
He
you
took
never.
I
that
know you
personally.
want to like compliment me, but that's what I feel like doing.
Yeah, he took that personally. That's why he put almost every single ounce of his being into killing him.
Yeah, and I took that personally. Yeah, no, it was fun. It did the whole time. It did feel very Dark Souls-esque. I really enjoy Granny. Maybe that's just me like latching onto a character for no reason. She makes me feel safe.
Yeah, honestly, it seems intimidating at first, kind of like running an NPC Dark Souls-esque, having to be like super cryptic, but it's really fucking easy. Just say stuff.
Yeah, your players will make shit up.
They'll make stuff up, and you'll be like,
Yeah.
And then when they try and get more information.
Yeah, true. Dude, I do think
I did add in a lot of that video gaming aspect.
That
I think that
fun.
should
I
happen
like that.
more because I and this doesn't happen a lot with us because we're the goats, but I do wish I could just be like, he's done talking to you. You know what I mean?
Exhausted this dialogue.
Yeah.
Please move on.
Yeah, please. You can get nothing else from him. If you try to talk to him again, I will despawn him.
I'll walk away.
Maybe that's what else they're doing. Oh well, I want to ask. He fucking dies. Ask him now. I hope you have Speak with the Dead, nerd. Yeah, no, it was very fun. It did feel very Dark Souls the whole time. I fucking hate basilisks, and I always will.
They're so weird looking.
They're gross. They're so
why
gross.
do they look like that? That's not their eyes.
Yeah, fake eyeballs. Yeah.
That's not anything I ever thought of before when thinking of basilisks.
It took until like most of the way through Elden Ring before I finally realized that those were not its eyes.
I think only people who have looked it up.
Yeah, the only people that know heard from somebody else that knew.
Yeah.
And that was.
I don't know how the original knower knew, but he knew.
It's probably the artist was like, "Those aren't its eyes."
You're probably right. Yeah.
But why'd you make them look like giant fucking eyes?
True.
Of course, we're gonna think they're its eyes. Dumbass buggy eyes.
So, like about all that, like this is kind of just like my take on this is I have not had a lot of experience personally with the Dark Souls. I didn't play them. I have like general knowledge and understanding of it just because I'm a nerd and I live in a nerd sphere. So it just you kind of have to get some of it through osmosis. But I didn't find myself enjoying the game like any less than if I did, I think, you know.
I thought you were just gonna end it there. I did not find myself enjoying
this game.
Yeah.
Moving on. Yeah. Disconnect the call. But I found I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. I think that obviously like you guys said, like you knew what the basilisk looked like, so you had a better mental image, but I didn't think that I suffered enjoyment of the game not having that mental image of what it is.
I had to Google it.
Yeah, but it's also one of those things where it's like it's hard a lot of times, especially with like themed role-playing games, if you don't understand like the theme or the story behind it, it's hard to appreciate the game itself. This one felt like it was, for me, it was probably more just like a standard fantasy, like low fantasy kind of game that was enjoyable, versus the one that's more specifically oriented towards people who have a lot of experience with Dark Souls. So, but
I don't agree.
Oh,
well, I do agree that the game was enjoyable. However, I would challenge what you said about themed games. I think, and this is like philosophical.
Okay.
Or maybe this is a hot take. I think the issue with games, TTRPGs that are
philosophical,
TTRPGs that are based off like other IPs in particular. I think it's easy for like Damien's played Dark Souls, right? So it could have been easy for him to be like, you see a basilisk, you fucking fight it. You see Alex the Snake, you fucking fight him, and like that would make it hard for you not knowing what a basilisk is, right? But if you're a DM, I think takes care to, despite knowing the source material, still describe it as if you were just like adventurers coming across it, right? Then I think it can be enjoyable either way. Only because I had the same thoughts when we played Fallout, right? I've never played Fallout. I'm loosely aware of Fallout because my friends like Fallout. But like echoing what you're saying now, I still enjoyed that game a lot, despite not knowing what the fuck we were talking about at any point, because it was you were DMing that one as well. Yeah. But because he still took the time to explain what a drug was and what like the wastes were and whatever was, right? So I never felt lost despite not playing Fallout.
Yeah.
Basilisk.
Oh, wow. Wait, those aren't its eyes?
No.
But I agree. But I also nuance. That's my answer.
I guess that's fair. You're right, because also we have a god tier GM here that's taking care of things here. That takes the no, refuse to. But I guess there's just a bigger onus then on the storyteller if you're playing with people that don't have a background in the theme and the story that you are playing in, like that the IP, that they have to make sure that they describe things in a way that the players are able to appreciate what it is, and not just like drop this and expect them to react if they don't know it. So you have to know your players and you have to know what it is that you're gunning with.
Yeah, I'm sure it is fun if you have if everybody knew Fallout everything. You could just be like, this is a crab monster thing.
Mirelurk.
This is a Mirelurk, and everybody would know what that is, right? Like I don't know what it is.
Or like with Dark Souls, you literally could just say basilisk, and everyone's like, "Cool."
And everybody like, I
this is Steve the Snake. Like you'd be like, "Oh, okay, I know Steve the Snake."
Very different at first.
This is a dog, and you'd be like, "Okay, this is a turtle."
Yeah.
Classic.
I'd be like, "I don't know what a dog is."
I do think that's just something that you can probably like speed it up a little bit by just saying like, it's a basilisk. But I do think that it's still on the GM to describe it, even if the players know exactly what it is.
I think it's cool.
I think it is cool, and it's also just nice to be all like, you see this, strange creature, like some kind of like a lizard, but with these large orbed eyes that seem to constantly be open, gazing at its surroundings. And they're like, so it's a basilisk? You're like, yeah, it's a basilisk.
Yeah, I think it's really cool when like we get to pug a little bit when you start describing something.
Yeah, you recognize it in the middle of the description, and you're like, I fucking hate that thing.
Yeah. So, but that was just like my take, because I think there's a lot of those things where people are like, they can see a game that is based upon an IP that they have no experience with and be like, oh well, I never played Dark Souls. Why? I don't think I would be able to enjoy this because I've never done it. It's like, no, you can. It's a fun game. It's a good system.
Yeah, especially because like in this book they specifically say that like this is your Lothric. It's not anyone else's. Make it however you want. This is just a guideline for
DMing it.
Yeah. And I guess at the end of the day, like, you have to be able to do those kind of things in any kind of system that you do. So like, even if it's the first time you're ever playing Dungeons and Dragons, if your players don't know what an orc is, you can't just say orc, or they don't know what a goblin is, you can't just say goblin. Like, I guess any system like that, you have to be able to meet your players where they have their knowledge. So if you guys are like, dedicated D&D players, you can just say, oh, you see like a group of goblins down in the forest. But if they've never played anything like with fantasy and stuff, you then have to be like, oh, there's a group of creatures down in the forest. They're short green things with like, gnarled features. So
yeah.
Sweet. With that, do we want to talk any more about like lore of Dark Souls or anything like that?
That shit's cool. That's all I got.
I mean, having this is probably one of my like most extensive experience with like the kind of with the lore and stuff like that, which was fun. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a cool setting. I think the dark, low fantasy, horror adjacent kind of feel for the setting is good, and I think it holds itself open for role playing. And it also, as was evident by my role playing, talking about like a dark Denny's, like it doesn't have to be super serious if you don't want it to be. Like if you want to have fun and just do those kind of things, you can, and it doesn't ruin the setting. So
yeah,
Dark Denny's.
It is a great setting for a TTRPG.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would agree.
Sweet. Let's go ahead and just jump into
praise.
The praise for the game. I'm going first. Dibs.
Fuck.
Position. I fucking love position. I giga love it. I like the whole way that they implemented it. I like the idea that each encounter you go to has a variable amount of quote unquote health that you start with. I like having to spend your health to like do all these things, and I think that the term position is probably the best term for it, because like once you're out of position, you're like probably dead. One strike is enough to kill you, kind of a vibe. And then like you're losing position as you take quote unquote damage makes sense to me too. Like your movements are getting slowed, kind of thing. Just flavor wise, it makes a lot of sense. I like that the like players can roll kind of bad but still be able to do something, which is really nice. Yeah, the only thing is I would probably get a little bit more clarification on the whole damage plus crit, because 78 damage, right?
Yeah, I do have that is I have praise about position, but that is part of my unpraise about position.
Yeah,
because I do think that wording does lend itself to be doubled, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but maybe there's just a max that you should.
Yeah,
that was going to be my negative thing about position. I think there should be a max of how much bonus damage you can do.
Yeah, because I think that they don't count on people typically just nuking themselves to nuke someone else.
To be fair, it was cool. You know what I mean?
It was really cool.
Yeah,
especially because you were 1 HP.
I think the problem with that in particular is like, once you go to the boss the second time, and or once they become bloodied, you have a rough idea of how much HP they have, so you know when it's safe to do that, right? Like if you never knew how much HP they had, you'd probably be a lot more hesitant to spend all but 1 HP, right? But the second, like if we're fighting a boss and at 50 HP they get the bloodied effect, and I know, I have exactly 51 HP, then I'm gonna do it, right? And so that makes it kind of hard to like balance these fights around not knowing what their HP is when they have a mechanic that happens at exactly half HP, and or you died one time and then you came back. That's in my opinion, though. But I do agree. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the reason it worked here was pretty situational, because like we had the extra flask from Granny, we had started to knock him down a bit, and then we also had the further information from that. So, and you critted, which is,
yeah, but we also did the same thing on our earlier boss, Stevie and I.
Yeah, I'd argue though that again, that's like it's kind of like a strategy.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I do think there should be a max on like how you need to spend at least 5.
No more than 15 or 20, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know what that upper limit is, but I do think there needs to be an upper limit.
And maybe like at higher levels you can spend more, but
or even like a like diminishing returns. Like you spend 5, it's 1-to-1. Everything beyond 5, every 2 you spend is 1 more, and everything beyond 10, every 3 is 1 more. Whatever.
I think that would be good. Yeah.
some way to make it less enticing to just fucking blow yourself up, right? Because again, if I have 51 HP and the boss has 50 HP, I'm doing that every time. Because why would I not do that? Unless I miss, in which case I can't do that. But all that to say, I agree. I think the position makes fighting really fun. Like I think it makes even like normal weapons special, because I think they all had like an effect that you could use spend position on. Same thing with like some of the armors and shields. I basically echoing everything that Damien said, right? Like I like the dynamic HP per fight. I like that like sometimes you can fuck up and like put your friend in a less than favorable position by healing him by one. And now he's not bloodied anymore. But yeah, I think that is the funnest thing about this game is the position mechanic is really, really fun and flexible.
Yeah, it makes me feel more like engaged in the like it's because it's just interesting. And you're like, I could spend position to do that if I don't make if I make the successful attack, but I think it'd be better if I'm like it would be worth it to spend position to make the successful attack, because otherwise I'm just wasting a turn almost. Blah blah blah, and it's fine because I'll be bloodied, and then I think it's just a really cool, really engaging aspect of it.
And if you get really into the game and you have your campaign going, it's also a very easy way to create your own special items that you want to give people, because suddenly now you don't have to like make up a whole brand new weapon. You just have like the base sword or whatever, and then as its special thing is like, oh, spend 3 on a successful hit and you get whatever it is that you want to give them, and you can vary it up easily enough. Like it's a mechanic that makes each of these weapons feel unique and without having to require like a whole like graduate degree in crafting items to not make them broken.
You could have the same base stat. I do enjoy that as well. Position's really cool.
It also makes when you're playing the game, like they talk about how life is a resource. Like when you play different games and stuff like that, it becomes like even more so now, where you're parsing it out, where you're like, I could do this, but this is going to leave me in a position where I know that if he hits me, I'm going to die. You know what I mean?
But danger. Like,
yeah, exactly. But it's like, it might be worth the risk if I can get that extra little bit of damage in there. And it becomes fun trying to make those kind of like decisions, as opposed to just being like, well, when my life ends, it ends, and I'm just going to keep doing my thing over and over again until I have no more life. And it makes it feel less repetitive, because you're using that resource in different ways each turn, dependent upon the situation. Like if you don't hit, then you spend it to hit. If you do hit, you can spend it to crit, or to do damage, or you could spend it on your special ability that you can do to do fun, cool things to them, like lowers AC, or do whatever it is that you want to do,
or save it so that then you can spend it on a possible saving throw coming up. Or
exactly. And you could it becomes more strategic, as opposed to just being like, I do my attacks, pass the turn, and hope that I'm still alive. It's like you're making those kind of dynamic decisions as you're playing the game, which is fun.
And I do want to add, as a person who likes simple things, it doesn't make it feel that much more complicated. It's because you have like limited options. Like you can spend position to increase your hit roll or your damage roll, or on successful attack you can do the
the effects you get are very clear.
It's not like,
spend your position, roll this, do some math.
Look
at the lunar
give
phase.
Me your life, and I will give you damage.
Yeah. You also, if you don't even want to think about any of that, you could just use it as health and just be like, I'm going to stick here. I'm not going to spend my position. I'm just going to use that as my health and just keep whacking you with my sword, because you can. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing that if you don't want to start thinking about those things. But giving you that extra like level of thought is fun.
A thought.
You heard me.
I also like, I don't know how it felt for you guys as players with the bloodied effects, but I really liked the bosses having bloodied effects, which unlocked additional options for them. Like Lord Brylix having halfway through where he gets a whole suite of new attacks, and like he has some like big devastating kind of an effect. I'll come into like the attack stuff later, but like a big devastating effect that happens as soon as he gets down to bloodied, I think is a good kind of balancing act, because people talk about action economy a lot when it comes to bosses and these kinds of systems. And I think that's a good way to kind of help balance it out a little bit, is big trigger effect affects a lot of people around, and then like an additional suite of things added in, I think is like it's good, it's flavorful, it feels nice. It's not like you're just kind of like whacking the same guy over and over and over again until his HP goes down to 0. You know,
it also feels like the bloodied effect feels like a really great way of making it feel like a video game, where it's like that's like the second health bar. So it's like half their health bar is basically like the first health bar, and then like the second stage pops in with the bloodied effect, and it feels very video gamey, which is, you know, the aim with this, which is kind of fun. So that's kind of what I kept envisioning. Like every time he popped in, it was like, oh, that's stage 2 for the baddie, you know, and then you have to figure out the new routine that you have to do to move on. So that was my thoughts on the bloodied with the, you know, with the bad guys having bloodied as well as us. So
how was your guys' bloodied? Do you think it was?
I liked it.
Good.
He didn't really get to use it.
Yeah, it looked cool on paper. So I like bloody. I do think bloody effects in general, like I think they're cool. I also think they, again, lead into the, you know, bro, the position, because you could spend position to get bloodied and purposely try to keep yourself around there and not heal past it. So
until your friend comes along.
Yeah, your friend.
It was just it was such a no offense, useless amount of healing.
Yes, no, it was the worst amount of healing. Just enough to be annoying.
As you did it, you're like,
I'm actually on the boss's side in this particular encounter.
Yeah, as you did the heal 1, I was like, oh man, that is hilarious.
I should have just taken karmic justice.
That one did seem pretty cool. Also, the boss is oh no, never mind, he is not vulnerable. Sorry. I thought he was vulnerable to magic, but it was another guy that I was going to throw against you that was vulnerable to magic.
Just picturing you just picking up a guy.
Yeah, as far as like the bestiary goes, I mean, it's a bestiary, monsters in there. Of course, it's got all the Dark Souls flavor in it, which I think is really nice. A bunch of, you know, weird and kooky effects, like slime being able to move through a space as narrow as 1 inch wide without squeezing.
Oh, the octopi.
Or corroding metal, kind of similar to the rust monster or whatever in D&D 5e kind of parlance. They have bosses sectioned off into a separate thing, and then like just all the different creatures. Pretty easy to read. I do like that it's an initiative DC, so I don't have to worry about rolling that. It's just whether you guys beat it or not. With that, I think we're ready to kind of move on into the negative stuff.
Dibs. I don't like the character sheet.
Okay.
It's too small. But we've talked about that a lot with stuff. I don't think I need to get super into it. It's just a lot of character sheets just don't have a lot of space. This could stand to be like double-sided, so that the things have a little bit of extra space. Like the bloodied ability, that's fine. That has plenty of space to like put your stuff. But there's like a random little thing that says notes.
It's just a small box.
Yeah, it's a very small box. But then features and traits.
Big box.
Is a big box, and I don't even know what to put there.
Your features and traits.
What features and traits?
Yep.
Like assassin.
Yeah, but I don't need to write assassin that big.
Yeah, I guess by the time, to be fair, by the time you were level like 12, you'd have like a good few.
Yeah,
I've got a fair number. I've got like fighting style, second wind, action surge, unbreakable, and crit.
That's fair.
Advanced crit.
Yeah, it just feels like it should be double-sided instead of just one.
I agree. Like some of the weapon effects, the notes,
Like
And,
you
like,
could
some of
put
the
the magic
equipment.
on the back or something because
Yeah.
it just makes more sense because there's a bunch of stuff that I don't need because I don't like magic.
You know, homies hate magic. Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We love casting spells.
Yeah, it's a kind of
It's
a
just-
carbon copy of D&D 5e's, just with some slight modifications, adding in the bloodied ability.
I do like that there's
Yeah.
an area for consumables.
Yeah, that one is
Did
kind of
not
nice.
use it because I didn't realize it was there.
It's got like Estus Flask charges, Healer's Kit, Green Blossom, Purple Moss, Bug Pills, I guess. But kind of like pulls out the healing items right there and making it a lot easier to see, which honestly would be nice to have for something like Dungeons and Dragons, just like, you know, minor healing potion, whatever, and how many that you have.
That would be really nice. Yeah, that's just like a nitpicky thing. It's part of the player experience. So I wanted to bring it up, but I don't want to dwell on it because we've talked about character sheets before.
Yeah, shit's ass. Nice character sheet. I would say it's just fine. Like, I would prefer more room. It's not like the worst one that I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's not
ideal. It's not poop.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember the one that we just really hated. Was it Imperium Maledictum?
I think so.
Yeah. But yeah. Things I didn't like. Unclear. Like with the surprise thing. Just
I wish
more clarification on stuff.
Some of the wording was weird for some.
This is like what, the 5th edition?
Well,
or 3rd
of the Dark Souls we're playing.
Yeah.
No, it's like the
first edition.
I thought there was multiple editions.
It's 5e compatible.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought there was multiple editions because I feel like it's been around for a while.
I think it has been around.
There's multiple Dark Souls.
I don't know if they've made several editions.
This is version 1.15.
Oh, never mind. Take the note of don't do that again. Next. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I thought that there was. I think I was thinking of a different game.
There are some like bad wordings in here, and then there's also like here. So rapid sweep and strong sweep. For Iodix Gunder, the Lord Brylix copy. The rapid sweep hit will deal 18 or 3d8 plus 5 bludgeoning damage. Okay. The strong sweep hit is 32 or 3d8 plus 5 bludgeoning damage. So it's like a typo there saying that it should have been more die in damage. But it doesn't tell me how many more die in damage. It just has like that... because you know how like all 5th edition books, they'll have the amount of damage that it does, but then they'll have like the halved or the average just to the side there. So I could just say flat 32 every time, but that's not as impactful, I feel, as like rolling, and they kind of like misprinted there.
Yeah, I think one of my probably my biggest gripe with this, and this I take this with a grain of salt because we did like 5 sessions of it. So maybe this would be like more or less evident if we did like a super long campaign of this. I feel like the balancing for this is really unbalanced because, for example, in typical 5e, right, CR is a party of CR level should be able to take this, right? Or a party of 4 at this CR level. So like a CR level 9, a CR 9 monster, a party level of 9 should be able to take it on, right? With like relative ease, and then if you're a little higher, a little lower, whatever. We were level 4 at the end.
Yes.
And we killed CR9 at the end.
Yep.
And I think that the reason I think that kind of sucks is not because like I wish we died on loop, but because he's still within our potential kill range. It makes the fight feels a lot less like a fight, right? It's basically like it feels like a touch of death situation, where it's like if he hits us, like Stevie in particular, like I feel like if any of us hits Stevie, well, I guess he did it one time, but like we are very killable all the time, it feels like, which is like cool for the Dark Souls vibe, but it makes it like, I guess I just don't like feeling like I'm going to go into this boss room and either I'm going to die in 2 to 3 turns or he's going to die in 2 to 3 turns. You know what I mean? Like it makes it feels a lot more gimmicky And but on the flip side of that, I feel like if we were all level 9, it would just be a slaughter, right? Like I feel like we would have so much position and so much more damage that it wouldn't feel like a boss. And I felt that's the way kind of like the whole way through. Like I felt the same with Alex the Snake. Like I was like, he kills us, I'll re-kill him with this one attack, right? And it's like, I like my fights. Like I like it to feel a little more like, whoa, like a tug of war, and not just like a who gets their kill blow first. And that's how I felt a few times.
I'd imagine it's hard to balance that out when you like innately don't know what each character's starting position is going to be when they start the encounter. Like I at the end there, I could have entered into battle anywhere from 23 position up to 59 position. You know what I mean? And that is going to change. Like what I can do with 59 position versus what I can do with 23 position is far different, you know? And I think that it becomes hard then to figure out like what kind of enemy is good for a character with that varied a starting strength, you know?
And I also do that kind of ties in with like the issue of like having a max on how much you can spend for like doing extra damage, because I don't think it's designed for you to just nuke people because you want to get past this boss.
Yeah, and I think the reason, like the big annoyance in quotes is like because I do concede you're right. Like the variable of position does make it hard to be like, well, are my players gonna have 20 HP or 50 HP? But I still think it's hard to even get in like an acceptable range, because like this boss, Alex the Snake, who did we fight in between?
It was a Pontiff Knight.
I believe, and listeners, listen back, let me know. I know for sure this one did. The last boss did. I know for sure Alex the Snake did. I'm pretty sure the Pontiff also did significantly over my HP in one attack.
Yes.
Like not like a small margin. Like this last one, like he killed me in 2 attacks and so had a third attack, right? And so it's like,
I do agree that like the one hits are crazy.
And it's like, but then it was the same. Granted, we had a buff from Granny on our side, right at the end. But I guess it's like, if I'm dying in one hit, but I'm also doing 78 damage at level 4, like that seems like a pretty big left and right lateral limits, right? Like either he's gonna kill me before I do anything, or I could. Granted, 78 was doubled, right? So it would have been like,
that was because it was a crit,
but it still would have been like 39 if it wasn't a crit, which is like, am I gonna die or am I gonna do 40 damage in one hit? You know what I mean? It's like it's hard to like balance that, because if all your players do that, now he needs 120 HP or he's gonna die, right? And so I think it just makes balancing very difficult.
Yeah, balancing is my biggest gripe with this entire game. Because think to Dark Souls when you're playing the game. What changes dodge rolls and skill?
Maybe that's why they give you a free parry to be dodge roll.
But like, so dodge rolls and getting better, learning their move sets and everything is how you beat bosses in Dark Souls. They're vastly overpowered. They can kill you off in like a hit or two often, and yet your skill is what carries you through. With a tabletop role-playing game, your skill, quote unquote, is your dice rolls.
Yep.
And though the position, I think, does a pretty good job at trying to bridge that gap, it's just not enough to still throw in Dark Souls style enemies at your players, if that makes sense. Like, spending position, awesome, still love it. But it's just the idea of like, because Alex the Snake, Azathoth, CR2, and that was like a pretty significant obstacle that you guys
did like
were
almost
facing.
I think 40 HP in that one hit. It was like 30 something, I think, when he snapped my neck.
Yeah, because he did multiple kinds of damage.
Yeah,
because a CR2 has a bloodied effect that basically stops combat for a second while he does his thing.
Well, no, I remember that one. That one killed me at half damage. That's what it was. I made the save and still died.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the number was.
That's still crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his grab and smash attack, and it deals 5d6 bludgeoning damage and 3d8 poison damage. and you died on the bludgeoning damage on a successful saving throw.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
For a CR2.
2 chains. I think... Yeah, I agree. It is hard to translate, I think, the difficulty of... Not... I think the biggest thing is you don't have a dodge roll in TTRPGs, right? Because, like, I can get hit by that one time in like, Dark Souls, go back to fight the boss, and now that I know the visual tell, not get hit the second time, right?
Yeah.
I can't do that in a TTRPG. And so...
You can't get better at rolling dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not with that attitude.
True.
And then I also feel like if you're kind of going the whole Dark Souls aesthetic, like, your players are just going to be going through the same fight over and over and over again. And sure, the bloodied effect does help to kind of like make it a little spicy, a little fresh. But I don't know if it's enough.
I feel like you would almost have to, like, Kingmaker it out. Listeners, you can't see me. I'm pointing to a map. Damien has a Kingmaker map for our Kingmaker campaign. And, like, almost, like, split it up into, like, zones per level, right? So you, like... Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's... I agree, because it's like, if you're going up against a level 2 boss and you're all level 2, even if you went somewhere else, I guess you could... I guess the difference is, and this is, like... You could grind more levels at any point, right? Like, you could kill a group of enemies, rest at the bonfire, do this infinitely. You could do the bird, essentially, right? So you can come back and do the fight at level 4 instead of level 2 or whatever. But I agree. I think it makes it... I think Dark Souls just translates a little weird into TTRPGs ultimately, and it makes it, like, hard to balance / kind of a weird gameplay loop that I don't think is inherently, like, unenjoyable at all. Like, I still had a really good time, but I think I would love to meet a table that had, like, a long campaign of it and then hear their experience with it, because it's like, I wonder how Dark Souls it was, because I feel like if you are just being like, this is the boss, figure it out until you get past him, and then we'll go somewhere else. I would love to see how they do that.
Yeah.
Because I also felt a lot of the spells were, like, very strong as well. I feel like it just wants you to scale really fast.
It definitely does feel like that.
Yeah.
Like, a level 1 guy, like, you are not playing through this game as a level 1 depraved with your little plank shield, trying to just solo everything.
Soul, yeah.
You cannot do that. You have to improve. And honestly, I would argue that it doesn't really open up until, like, level 3 to 5.
If I was gonna start a campaign of this, I would minimum start at level 5. Have my party start at level 5.
Yeah. Because then at that point, you don't have to throw a singular CR2 man serpent at them. You can throw a couple of them, have it be like a little horde of them, and at least at that point, it's a little bit more unique, engaging, etc.
Alex the Snake.
Yeah, that's my big issue with this. Is just the balancing just doesn't feel good. The fact that when you hit 0, like standard Dungeons and Dragons, right? You hit 0, you have saving throws, you can heal back up, still be part of the fight. And this one position hits 0, that's it.
Yeah, that does kind of bum me out. That you can't be like, I'm back.
It would be kind of cool if they instituted like a reaction move to drink an Estus, like as you die, you know what I mean? So that you can come back with like a little bit there at the end to keep going until you're out of Estus.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, or even in like Night Rain, they have, I think it's called a winding grace, whatever. It's an item where if you would die, you come back with a little bit of HP, essentially. And maybe, to be fair, I didn't look at all the consumables, so maybe that exists. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I am kind of a fan of dying at 0, me personally.
I am too. It's just it's kind of tough when
coupled with the
balancing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and that you can't come back, because then, even though like there were 2 instances where like I did end up being fine, it felt like pretty hopeless when everyone else was dead, and I was like, like, or even when one person died, like when it was the 3 of us, because I was like, shit, we're gonna have to start over now.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like. It's like one member dies, and you're like,
man, I wonder how the next run's gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, I guess this is kind of a gripe. I don't know if, like, I wouldn't put this in the gripe box per se. I do wish they made their own game, like not made it 5e compatible and just kind of focused on doing their own unique stuff more. Because both of the unique, like the position and the bloodied effects, are like the most unique things about this in terms of like mechanics. I like both of those a lot. You know what I mean? I think if they just kept going and kept like separating themselves from 5e a little more and just making their own game, I think it could have been really good.
Yeah, because I feel like part of the balance could come in with changing like action economy or something to that effect, right? Like setting it up so that then maybe there is a dodge roll. You know, I don't know how they would have done that, but if they like strived away just a little bit, they might have been able to implement something.
Maybe if you didn't use your bonus action, you can dodge roll.
I would say like a reaction position thing to dodge roll.
Mm-hmm.
But still keep it as one position per turn, so you can either be offensive with it or defensive with it if you want to roll if you got hit.
I disagree a little bit, because sometimes I wonder about trying to reinvent the wheel if there's no need to. You know, like if the core mechanics are useful for doing the mechanics of a game, and then you can add in your extra little spice like the position and the bloodied and stuff like that, maybe they just need to add more versus like going from the beginning. It also lets you enter into a situation with like some basic understanding, and you don't feel like you're at a complete loss, and you can just worry about, you know, it takes one less layer of learning and uncertainty for the player coming into it. It's like, I may not know Dark Souls, but at least I know the mechanics of this role-playing game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the barrier of entry gets a lot easier if you already have it already. I agree with that. I will concede that I think if they continue to add more, maybe that would have helped as well. I think I'm just biased towards not playing 5e.
Yeah, but, that's fair. And I get that at that point, I understand, but I feel like, you know, they could have, I guess there's other systems, and I guess now they could have done like, you know, like Dagger Hearts and made it like a module or whatever it is. But I think sometimes not reinventing the wheel just for the sake of reinventing the wheel is a good call. You know, it allows people to enter into it with an understanding. Like if there's a reason to do it, like if you were like, I want to use like with Daggerheart, like we're going to do a D12 system, like finding a reason that gives you gives you a reason to do a different system. I think it's beneficial to redo it. But if you are like, we're going to use a base D20 system, it's like that's been hammered out
a good amount of those already
for decades. You know what I mean? That have figured out what does and doesn't work. And it's like, the wheel's the wheel. Just like, if you're just going to try to reinvent it for no reason, don't just go with the systems that are out there.
No, my wheel's going to be square.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the danger that you have. It's like, if you reinvent the wheel and you make a square wheel, it's like it doesn't work as well. It's way clunkier. It's like not as effective. And now this cool system, this cool like world that I've created that would have been really fun,
this cool car,
now gets bogged down in mechanics that aren't as fluid as they could be.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess if they just added a bit more, did something to it's just the balance, man. It's just they need something extra for the balance.
We don't have the answer.
No, and as we said, it is, you know, first edition here, so it's like there's still room for it to keep growing, because Lord knows the Dark Souls games aren't going to ever end, so they've got plenty of space to kind of keep going with that.
Honestly, I do like that spend position for a dodge roll kind of a thing.
Yeah, hire me from Soft or whoever published this game. Actually, I forgot the name.
Spend a position, disadvantage on the attack. Like,
oh yeah, that could be a way to do it.
It might help it a little bit, and even though you have a +8, like I was rolling like shit. And even if when I rolled well, like Phil, what did your character have? Like
18
20 AC or something?
18 AC, 20 parry.
With what? I started at 19. AC 18 AC.
Yeah. So like trying to hit.
And then when I'm bloodied, it became 21.
21.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like, aren't there like some attacks that are like I was thinking unblockable. Never mind.
Yeah. It might be cool with like
attacks where you can't parry.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
And then you have like, I think it'd be kind of cool to have, like you said, with the parry, you can have like the base free one, like they do, where you just have add 2 to it, to your AC, or you can spend position beyond that, where it's like a minimum, like, you know, if you decide to spend position, you have to spend for every point up that you want to get. So, you know, like the because that works for everything except, I guess, like the main baddies. But like, you know, it's like, oh, I hit with a 23, where it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna spend, you know, 5 or 6 position so that you miss that attack, because that's gonna save me. You know what I mean? And, yeah, and maybe it's like once per encounter you can do that, you know, to like limit it, so you're not just like, of course I'm just always going to spend the 6 because that's going to be way less than any of these hits. But it's like you could kind of spend the position to like negate one attack per encounter to maybe give you that edge to get them before they get you.
Yeah, GMs out there, run some tests.
Yeah, play some games. Let us know.
Yeah, run it back. Let us know.
Run it back. Hit us up. We'll be back in a year. We'll replay it. That's not true. We might do it. I'm not guaranteeing it.
As far as things to steal, I don't know how you fit them in. Position, though. Position is really good. The other one that I want to throw out there, though, is if your table is kind of more of a gung-ho fight, and then just kind of like move on to the next fight sort of a thing, snag some of the bosses in here. I think they would provide a decent challenge. I think the CR might be closer to their CR in like standard 5e kind of a game, or Pathfinder kind of a game. Yeah, just get some inspiration from the bosses in here.
I would still putting random cool effects on more weapons.
Yeah.
Like the fact that every weapon you find has an ability, every shield, every armor set, makes finding these things cool, right? So when you kill a group of bandits and you're like, they all have, you find like 2 axes and a dagger. That's kind of more exciting now, when these 2 axes and a dagger could have a better effect than your spear, right? It makes swapping weapons in and out more enticing. So I would steal that, me personally.
And it doesn't have to be like super unique, because they were all like different variations of like the same.
Yeah. A few of them just straight up had the same effect. Yeah. But it just makes it nice to have like a little something extra to make your dagger neat.
Yeah, Phil, you got anything?
I was like waiting for Phil.
Like, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. No, I thought like, yeah. I think position was the thing that I most enjoyed about this, that was different from like other systems that I played. I really like the idea of turning life into a usable commodity to help you, because it does make these encounters way more strategic, where you're like, like do I just take the hit now, because, you know, or like whatever it is that you're doing, like it allows you to just like figure out what it is that you want to do, and the economy, the action economy is like a little bit more nuanced with it, and that's fun. It helps to enhance, you know, because sometimes combat can be a little repetitive, a little grindy. Like that little tweak, that little extra, feels like it gives enough nuance to make it more in like less feeling less repetitive. Even though like I was hitting them over and over again, I still had to give some thought as to what I was going to do through that whole system with it. So yeah, I like it.
Yeah, being able to make a decision every round definitely makes it feel more engaging.
Yeah. One thing about the combat position that I just thought about, the fact that you roll it each time that you go into an encounter, and if it's not below your base position, like you're still technically at full when you go into the next encounter.
Yeah.
I think helps with that issue that I know Pathfinder 1E heavily suffers from, and some instances like Dungeons and Dragons suffers with, of the 30-minute day, where your characters go into the dungeon, they expend all of their stuff, lose a bunch of hit points, and then just go take a long rest. Whereas like this, it kind of helps you to keep on going, keeping your like resetting your position each encounter.
I'm gonna say something crazy, and this has nothing to do with this game, but it's just an opinion I've been cooking for a while now.
The Earth is flat.
The Earth is flat. No, I think people should just make their like neutral engagements a little harder and just refresh HP every battle.
Yeah.
And when I drop my game in 2 years, you'll see it in practice.
Nice.
I like that idea.
I'm not actually making a game. Unless I do make one.
I like that idea a lot.
Because like...
Because it feels like ass shitballs when you're the fighter in a group and you're raring to go. You like, maybe you're like at 3/4 to half health, but you're still down to clown, right? But then your sorcerer buddy is at level 1 spell slot left, and it's like we could just. I do think with like in some games with some casters it's a little harder because if caster can cast super ultra mega meteors of doom every round, that gets a little harder. But generally speaking, I think refresh your resources and just keep the game going, and maybe have like a few abilities that are like daily, but not like have it
once
so like
per day.
Yeah, but not have it so that the core of their kit gets expended relatively quickly.
So I don't know about Starfinder 2E, but Starfinder 1E has kind of a mechanic like that, where the majority of your hit points, quote unquote, is your stamina, and with that you rest for like 5 minutes, and then you spend I think it's a resolve point, and all of your stamina comes back. And then that means that when you take hit point damage, you're infirm for like a couple days to heal that, making it so it's not so much like you're just immediately healing all of your hit points back. It's like there's still a damaging effect. Disease feels more like impactful, but you're still able to go out like adventuring for the most part.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of an interesting one, but we'll have to try that out one of these days.
Yeah. Hey, back my game on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Kickstarter.com/you smell bad.
He's lying.
I am lying. I'm not making a game yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, I do think this game is worth playing. Like, I think everyone should try it out.
Yes.
Especially if you like Dark Souls.
Especially if you like Dark Souls. If you like combat.
And even if you don't. It's a fun game and a fun system. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we'll try it out.
I would put this game in a similar vein of Morkborg, I think. Morkborg is fun a couple times through, but you know it still suffers from that same effect that Dark Souls does of lack of balance. For Morkborg, that's like the whole meme of it, but for Dark Souls, it's just kind of the way that they have it. That's probably where I would place this game in the rating hierarchy.
It's hard for me. I feel like this game to me is like it feels like a science project. Like I would love to be a part of a really long campaign and just like learn. Like I feel like I'm observing a new species with this game, if that makes sense.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Like it feels like I don't feel confident about every like facet of the game. Like usually I play a game and I feel like I have a pretty decent understanding of how everything works. But because this game has, I feel like, such high highs and such low lows, but is also still at like with the core mechanics very enjoyable. I am just so curious about how it feels in different scenarios, right? Like if you had a dedicated caster, like if we were on like being level 4 versus being level 12, right? Like I'm truly curious about how this game plays in different scenarios.
Different party sizes.
Yeah.
The level 20 fucking Vort boss. How the fuck is he ripping the planet in half? Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, they have creatures in here that go up to CR 30.
I thought you were gonna say they do have creatures in here that rip the planet in half. I'm like, how are we supposed to go against them? What do we do? Just hit them with the war cry every time infinitely until we die.
On a successful hit, spend 37,000 position, and the world is ripped asunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks honestly like it's a little bit more. Oh, hold on. Sorry,
timing was perfect.
That was good.
I was just looking through and seeing like, bloodied effect, searing burst, DC 23 dexterity saving throw is kind of wild, but like it's 46 fire damage, 46 necrotic damage, which sounds like a lot, but he's a CR 30 fucking boss, which that's kind of like almost nothing. And then
but what does necrotic damage do?
It's just necrotic damage.
It's just a different type of.
But that's
damage.
What he's not telling us is that's one of 12 attacks.
Well, because then I go down and I can spend 10 of his 972 position to cast a spell that deals 10d8 plus 6 piercing damage.
Oh, that's it? I tanked those.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
You take 10
initiative,
damage.
can't be surprised.
I do think it would be interesting to play at a higher level. I'm not going to do it right now. But like, just because they have powerful sorcery, they have powerful spells. I imagine they have. I mean, even the weapons we saw, like that we were using right now, were pretty cool. Mostly Phil's. Well, no, yours too, and mine too. Yeah, all of them. And so
I was like, I picked the cool weapon.
yeah, I was like, that bow was cool, and then I was like, wait, my sword was cool too. I just really like big swords, man. But
yep, nope. I'm seeing all the bad stuff now.
yeah, I think a late game party with this would be equally like hard to balance, but I think this game's fun. I just think you have to be prepared for some high highs and low lows.
Yeah.
Which
So I just saw the slaying scythe. Reach of 15 plus 15 to hit. Deals 2d8 plus 6 piercing damage and 6d8 necrotic damage. So like a hefty hit, but not enough to like slay you in one go at those levels, I'm assuming.
I'm hoping.
But it says if you have 100 position or fewer, you gotta succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or die.
Oh.
Okay.
Does it say or die?
Yes.
Oh. I should say despawn.
Or despawn.
Or despawn.
And that is one of the 3 attacks that he gets each round.
Succeed
So like it's
or give up.
Yeah. Wow.
Make a drinking game out of it. Every time you die, take a shot. I think this game is really fun. I think you just have to
get
go into
good
it.
stick.
Yeah, the good. Yeah, fun game. Definitely give it a try.
Yeah.
Let me know what you think. This is science. This is for science. You have to play it.
Yeah. Scientifically, you have to play it.
Yeah.
But I mean, with that, stay stinky.
Stay stinky. Everyone say thank you for Phil for joining us for the last few sessions.
Thank you,
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you, Phil.
Peter's life.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Life.
It was fun to play with you guys again.
Yeah, it was a good time, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go take a nap.
I'm gonna
All right.
start watching.
Y'all stink.
Y'all stink.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Peace. Bye.
Peace.